So I talked about this before the election in November, the general election, and I said at the time it was a good idea. A good idea. But in theory, and looking back on it and seeing it now, because now they've kind of released it was kind of an idea that floated around that time in November. Now we've kind of seen the pretty much the page, and this is it. It's kind of a 8 points, I suppose. What they call Operation Shamrock. This is into now the political party. Now, first of all, before I say anything else, I've said this before, but into there should be a lot more tough on immigration. Simple as that. There's far too many people coming into the country. Even just saying that into is not really comfortable in saying that. But it is the truth. The whole country is full of people coming from Timbuktu, coming from every part of the world, and into pretty much say the bare minimum. And they should be saying more. Because people want that's what they want in this country. Irish people want they want a party that speaks for them and that's not afraid to speak on behalf of the Irish people. But again, they're not doing it. Simple as that. So that's what I say first of all. So Aintu should pull up their socks a bit in terms of that. But in terms of this too, straight away I get into the ifs and buts. But obviously it'd be great if all Irish people could come home, and they should really come home. But let's be fair, there's nothing for them really here. There's nothing for an Irish Paddy or Mary to come back from Australia and do a nice job and they're able to afford a house. And not, why would they come back after the government forced them out? Because that's what they're doing here, the Irish government. They're forcing our young people out to pretty much bring in the world, which doesn't make any sense. But it's the truth. Let's face it. We can't live in denial. It is the truth. Everybody else is coming from Timbuktu to work in the HSE, while Irish people have to go abroad to work. Like, are forced abroad. Like, they're not willing to go. They've been forced because the Irish government simply will not give them the basic needs. But anyway, Operation Shamrock. They're talking about €12,000. And this is for doctors and nurses who are willing to travel home for a period of 5 years to work in that sector. So first of all, €12,000 is a lot of money. Well, not a lot of money. Let's put it that way. That's the way. It is a lot of money for some people, of course, €12,000. But it's not a lot of money to come back home. To maybe if you have a family, why would you come back home to this country? Let's be fair, and to be fucked over by the government. Let's be put it that way, because they would be fucked over in every turn and twist and turn. Their money be taken off them in taxes, and let's be fair, it'd be fucking put into stupid who and bast of stuff that is no benefit to the people that's coming home. Their money be, when they work hard and say as a nurse and a doctor, their money be taken off them and put into something stupid. So why would you come home for that? First of all, too. Second of all, actually, why would you come home to pay €1 billion nearly in rent? And not even that, to never own your own house. It'd be different if they ain't you, and this is what they should suggest, that every person that comes home gets their own house. Every Irish person gets their own house. That would be ideal thing, that every Irish citizen that comes back to live in the Republic of Ireland, that's an Irish citizen that's born in Ireland, was raised in Ireland, but emigrates to another country, should get probably a free house. Let's be fair, everybody else is getting it, so why should Irish people not get it, to be totally honest? Because again, they paid for their grandfathers fought and died here. If everybody else is getting it, why should Paddy not get it? And etc. So pretty much, it is all like there's a lot of, well, there's only a bit. Let's put it that way. There's about maybe 8 points, and to be totally honest, apart from the first point, the rest of it's kind of sketchy. What I mean by sketchy is pretty much just thrown together to make up words. To be totally honest with you. There's not really much in it, to be totally honest, apart from the first point, which the 12,000 and a period of 5 years. But apart from that, there's not really. It doesn't really. It says about data and this and about your plan of mission and etc. But it doesn't really say, we're going to make sure you're well looked after and stuff. It doesn't really say that we're going to put Ireland first and Irish people first that come home. It doesn't say that. That's what we need. That's what we want. That's what the Irish people want. In our own country, like imagine this is what we ask in our own country. That's it. But it is. But to be totally honest, as I said, the thing you would want is for a lot of people a house for an Irish person, a free house. What I mean by free house, they would own it, they would pay a certain amount. Well, not so, it would be at a discount rate. Let's put it that way. So, say for example, the asking price would be, before you would come home. Say for example, was this scheme they're talking about. Beforehand, it would be 400,000 for a non-Irish citizen. But for an Irish citizen coming home from abroad to work and to come back to Ireland, it'd be at €1,000 or 150,000 or something like that. Something not too much, but something that they're not getting it for free, pretty much, because, but you get what I'm saying, that it'll be at a huge discount and would encourage a lot of young people to come back and work in Ireland. A lot of young Irish and stuff to come back and work here. But I don't think Aintu has the guts to do something like that. I don't think they do. To be totally honest, I don't think they have the guts to come out and do that. To be totally honest, I don't think they do. Like, to put Irish people, I don't think they're willing to say that. Because going by Paolo Turbine in his interview, we're not even going to go there, but in the whole thing put together, just saying it straight, we need to have something like this, of course. The Irish government, obviously Fianna Fáil don't give a shit. The majority party, Sinn Féin, doesn't give a shit either. The Labour Party, nobody cares really about Irish people being forced to leave. Nobody cares. In the Irish thought, nobody cares, seems to be. But it's a good... It's good in theory, because we do need something like that. I'm sure the majority, every Irish person would agree on that. But €12,000 to come home is not really much, because again, a lot of people who are living abroad are making that in a few months, because they're living the life of Wiley. But why would they come back here to be treated like shit in their own country? Because that's what they're being treated like. Irish people being treated like second-class citizens in their own country. So why would you come back to that, to be totally honest? And to have your money, like, pretty much I would nearly say your taxes being fucking scammed off, excuse my language. But let's be fair, that's what's going to bicycle sheds and stuff like that. It'll not go to anybody's benefit. It'll go to the government and to the mad schemes. But, nobody, if the Irish government, Fianna Fáil said in the morning, oh yeah, let's go and do this, even though it beggars belief they wouldn't. But, even at that, I barely say there'd be probably 10 people that would probably come back to that. Because simply, it'd be different if, say, there was the houses, as I say, what they're doing in Canada, just to speak for the moment. There's many different things I could talk about here. But in Canada at the moment, what they're doing here to get Irish nurses to go to Canada, and it happened in Cavan, I know a woman that they came with a big briefcase and said, if you come and work in Canada, in a hospital in Canada, not only will you get double to pay, but do you know what we do? We give you a discount on your rent. We will give you an apartment and a discount on your rent. As long as you work in our hospital, we will give you a discount, a nice apartment. Not too far away from the hospital, nice apartment at a discounted price in rent. And let's be fair, any Irish nurse that hears that will be like straight away off and go to Canada. And that's what happened. There's many of them in Cavan that happened to. They went with their suitcase and said, here's a nice house. If you come and work for us, we will give it to you for pretty much only a few euro a week, pretty much. As long as you work in the health service in Canada. And that's how they got them. That's how they got a good lot of nurses, because they were offering something that they actually want. Like, in money terms, like, in terms of that, the main thing Irish people want is a roof over their head, to own something and be happy, and not to own anything and be happy, as the World Economic Forum would have us believe. But there's many other things to say about this. But I don't think it's insane to even suggest, in a way, that people would come home for €12,000. So I don't think... I think even into Paolo Turbine, I'm sure, knows that even if this was implemented in the morning, for example, if Aintu won the biggest majority, like say for example, a huge majority in the Dáil, and they're the only political party, for argument's sake, it would be impossible to get 5 people to sign up for this, to be totally honest. Like, anybody who would sign up to this would be probably a bit stupid, to be totally honest. Not being ignorant or anything like that, but just to say, because let's be fair, the 12,000 alone, if you're coming from Australia, we really have to cover, bring your stuff home, and not to mention, all that. You would be mad. But I don't think it will work. I think it's just, it wouldn't work anyway. But yeah, let me know what you think, because it is something that we need to look at, because everybody else is coming in. But I do think, as I say, if we're ever going to do something like that, it'd be like, take for example, a house that they own, but they have to pay 100,000, 150,000, a discounted rate. What I mean by that is, say the price, as I said earlier on, was 400,000, but the discounted rate for an Irish person coming home would be only 100,000, which something be affordable. It wouldn't be like giving away houses for free, but it'd be affordable. It'd be something, and the government would contribute to, say, for example, the West. Say it was 400,000, the government would contribute it. That, take for example, that 300,000 for it, to bring that person home to live in Ireland, an Irish citizen, of course, an Irish person. That's what I'm saying. That would be more like it, and the person would be like, yes, that's not bad. I only have to get 100,000, and then I'll be able to own my own property, my own house, a roof over my head, a place to call home. And I think a lot of people, like, if that was implemented in the model, there'd be that many Irish people coming in, we won't know what to do with them. But yeah, let me know what you think. It's just kind of thinking out loud here too, what I'm saying. But to be totally honest, as I said, it all goes back to this. Aontú too has to be a lot more tough on immigration. There should be pretty much mass deportations. What I mean by mass deportations, hundreds of deportations every week to get people who are not supposed to be here out and bring home Irish people in their place. In my opinion. But Aontú will never say such a thing like that. But let me know what you think. Subscribe, and bye.